In a surprise move, one of the country's most popular gun sellers is scaling back. Now, Walmart says it will discontinue sales of ammunition often used in assault-style weapons and will discontinue the sale of handguns and handgun ammo. They are also asking shoppers to no longer openly carry inside their stores or Sam's Club. Now, Walmart CEO Doug M.C. McMillan told employees, "We think about the role we can play in helping to make the country safer." Well, Walmart stores were the site of 2 mass shootings this summer, but the move could anger loyal shoppers across the country. So for the 360 View, we bring in our political panel, former Florida Democratic Party Chair Mitch, Ceasar, and Terry Schilling, Executive Director of the American Principles Project. Thank you so much for joining me, gentlemen.
Thanks for having me.
Okay,
Thank you, Scottie.
So Mitch, I'm going to start with you. Does it matter that Walmart is kind of making this decision more of a PR move after 2 things happened in their stores rather than just out of principle, where like Dick's Sporting Goods earlier, they just decided to ban them because out of principle they did not want to sell?
I don't really think it's principle. I think what's occurred is the fact that it's been an evolutionary process. You have to remember Walmart specifically banned violent video games in 2018, then banned sale of guns in 19 to those who are under 21, and now this latest move. So it's been evolutionary. But you got to remember, look at the polls also. 92% of the American people are okay with background checks, and yet nothing's happening. You have to look at the fact that there's also been a transfer of ownership over the years of Walmart. It started with Sam Walton. He was the bastion of conservatism, then to his children and grandchildren. They're becoming more socially conscious, as most of the country is. So it really isn't a public relations move. It's a reaction to what's going on in the United States. And as you said, you know, those incidents at Walmart, including the guy who was filming himself carrying a gun, wearing a jacket with bullets, and when they finally captured him because he was a dope, the police said, "We're lucky. He's very, very lucky that we just didn't shoot him."
Well, and that's the thing, Terry. You know, Mitch laid out the business side of it, how it has been this progression of it, and it has changed hands from the original Sam Walton, who was conservative. From a business standpoint, was this a smart business move for Walmart, considering who their base really is and who their customers and clients are?
No, well, I think there's 2 issues here. From the business standpoint of selling ammunition and handguns and all that, I think it was a really foolish move. I kind of like it because I've never bought ammunition or guns from Walmart. I always go to my local gun shop, so that's great news for them. But, you know, in the long term, they're going to lose a lot of customers over this. But I think that the second issue here that's getting kind of conflated is Walmart's discouragement of open carry, which I haven't really seen them be criticized for that. You know, I can understand how open carry would, you know, cause a lot of concern just seeing someone openly carrying a rifle or some type of weapon in public there. Concealed carry is a better alternative anyway. But I do think, though, that it's kind of foolish because you know, you look at these shootings that were happening there, and they were stopped by good guys with guns, not the police. And that's just because, you know, the police always have a delayed response time compared to the people that are in the situation. So, you know, I think it was a bad business decision. Obviously, Walmart's clientele is middle-class voters who, you know, Mitch, they might support, you know, background checks, but they like to buy guns, they like to buy ammunition, and they don't think there's anything wrong with owning a gun, whether it's an AR-15 or a pistol. So I think it was a bad business decision overall.
Well, but Terry, in that point, though, obviously the boycott of Dick's Sporting Goods when they did the same thing did not have much of a business effect because Walmart didn't really blink an eye in doing this. So does that kind of speak to the power, though, of the gun ownership situation right now, the gun ownership crowd? Are they really that powerful if obviously other stores, including Walmart, now we're seeing Kroger is not going to allow for open carry, if they really say, you know what, we don't care, we're going to go with this policy?
Yeah, no, I think that, I'm a gun owner. A lot of my friends are gun owners. We don't buy our guns from Walmart. We don't buy our guns from Dick's Sporting Goods. That's weird. I mean, you know, if we want to buy our guns, if we want to buy ammunition, we'll go to our local shop or we'll go to Cabela's. So these guys are giving up things that they really probably don't sell that much of. Obviously, Walmart's a different player because it just sells a lot of everything. But yeah, I think they're responding to this really loud left-wing social justice activist mob. And I think it's unfortunate. But I will say, Scottie, the thing that I'm more concerned about is the action taken by the San Francisco Board of Supervisors today in declaring the National Rifle Association, an organization that has over 5 million members, a domestic terror group. I mean, this is insane. They're villainizing not just the NRA, but responsible gun owners. And this is the problem with the left, is that they don't ever want to go after the criminals. They don't ever want to stop the bad guys with the guns. They just want to take good guys like me and my friends. They want to take our guns so that we don't have a right, an ability to defend ourselves when it comes to our lives, or even our wives and families' lives being threatened.
Well, you know what, and Mitch, he brings up a very good point there when you're talking about the NRA, which I am no fan of, to be honest with you, but I do think that it was very wrong for them to characterize them as a domestic terrorist group, of all groups, when you want to focus on it. Does that, and this is the NRA does promote responsible gun ownership. Mitch, was this a smart move to even make this even more of a political issue that San Francisco did?
I don't necessarily think it was a smart issue in its one city, and it's San Francisco. I think what it really points to, what San Francisco perhaps was trying to make a statement, is the fact that there's a total void in leadership in Washington. And the fact that Mitch McConnell says, oh, I'm not taking up anything until the president tells me so. And the president, of course, gives mixed signals on every issue every day. He, as soon as there's a terrible incident like from Parkland and Stoneman Douglas, which is why Dix took the action they did, and says, oh, we have to have background checks, we have to do this or that. Then he gets a call from the NRA, and that dissolves within less than 24 hours. So there's no leadership at the White House. Senate's not going to take it up, and nothing happens. It's a void. And in fact, that's why the subject today is the one from old Sam Walton's company, Walmart, saying, Congress, and the CEO said this, you need to do something. Corporate America is coming forward now in a way they never did, not only because of time, but because their employees are also demanding it because of societal changes. We have to get back to where we are, where we can bring some meaningful legislation. We're not taking guns from anybody, but it has to be rational.
But Mitch, look at what Beto's saying. He is saying all of these people want to take our guns, and they want to, quote,
he's running for president. I wouldn't consider that.
Well, name one presidential candidate that doesn't want to buy back guns or ban AR-15s. Name one.
I have no problem banning automatic weapons. They're not
They are banned. They're already banned. That's the thing, Mitch. They are already banned.
Right, but I'm saying.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, weapons of destruction are the real question that are able to still be obtained.
Every weapon is a weapon of destruction.
And the problem is, they're not
point.
for hunting to kill rabbits.
Well, and
no,
that's
we're not hunting to kill rabbits. We're not even hunting. We're protecting ourselves. We're protecting our families. My wife is probably 105 pounds. Okay, I travel all the time for business. You expect her to call the police and wait 20 minutes for them to arrive when someone's trying to break into the house? Give me a break, man. I mean, we have
you need
right
to have the Senate take up rational legislation.
Mitch, Terry, let's continue this conversation. I thank you so much because it is one that's going to continue, unfortunately, in this country, because we don't have a solution on the horizon. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Scottie.
Hey YouTube, thanks for checking out our channel. We hope you enjoyed the video. We have tons of content for you just like this. For more of RT America's one-of-a-kind news and analysis, be sure to subscribe and never stop questioning more.